So I came for a walk this morning and really just got heavy is the fact that I gotta have heart surgery tomorrow. Now, they go through my wrist, so they don't go through my chest, thank God. Sorry, I'm walking down a steep hill here. I don't want to slip. I want to have heart surgery and a cast. All right, there we go. So, anyhow, it's just weighing heavy on me, and there's many reasons why. One, I am kind of mad about, like my mother, she's still alive. And she had all sorts of heart issues. Like, she's had heart procedures I don't even know about. And they all kind of popped up when, past 75. Whereas in mine are popping up at 50. And the part that really kind of makes me angry is really, it's just my history of eating. I'm not mad at myself, for the record. I'm not like mad thinking, I should have eaten better, because I eat really well. Like, I'm one of the healthiest eaters I know. But what I'm mad about is two things. Number one, my mother was raised on real food. And it was around her mid-20s or her 30s that processed food and that sort of thing became an abundance. So then I was raised on that, this packaged frozen things, and fast food. We ate so much fast food growing up. And so that's kind of what I'm upset about. I'm also upset at the quality of food in America. I feel like if I was in Spain, I would not be having this issue. If I was in Greece or Japan or somewhere. I'm a product of my environment, I guess, is what makes me so mad. That's what's really got me disturbed about this. I'm a very active person. I'm a very healthy person. But I'm a product of the environment I live in. So, unfortunately, that environment seems to be killing me. So, I'm mad about it. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to be mad. But the past is the past. And what I'm really focused on is the future. I'm focused on God and what He is doing through me and how He is healing me. Because when I look at the world, I think this is terrible, the way our food is and the way I was raised, the quality of food I was given from birth on. Even now, if I go out to eat at a fancy restaurant and want to eat healthy, the only options are salmon or a salad, and the salmon's just soaked in oil, and the vegetables are soaked in oil. You can't eat healthy. I mean, you can, but it is really hard to do in America. In other parts of the world, it's almost impossible to eat unhealthy. Recently, I guess about 3 years ago, I had surgery. It was a hernia. And I'm fearful of anesthesia because a long time ago, I was having my salivary gland worked on. And while I was under, all of a sudden they pulled me out because my blood pressure was crashing and I was dying. And all of a sudden I was in a ton of pain. That's all. I just woke up to pain, and then I just immediately started throwing up and threw up for about 15 hours straight. So I'm not a big fan of anesthesia. And a few years ago, when I had surgery, there were so many things. Like, at the time, I was just warring, had so many enemies in that moment. And I was reading Psalm 3. One of the earlier, I can't remember, I wish I had it on me. I do have a little Bible on me. Maybe I'll stop here in a second and find that psalm. But it talks about delivering me from death so my enemies don't celebrate. You know, it's you know, sending them off ashamed. I'm gonna find it real quick. I love this little Bible. Psalm 6. Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger, nor chastise me in your hot displeasure. Have mercy on me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are troubled. My soul also is greatly troubled, but you, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver me. O save me for your mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of you. In the grave, who will give you thanks? I am weary with my groaning. All night I make my bed swim. I drench my couch with my tears. My eyes waste away because of grief. It grows old because of all my enemies. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity, for the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and greatly troubled. Let them turn back and be ashamed suddenly. And I read that because, and at the time I had that memorized. And I'd lay in bed and I'd just pray that right before they were putting me under, you know. And it was really because I didn't want my enemies to rejoice. I wanted them to be ashamed like they needed to be, you know. And there's this degree of victory that people have in their hearts when you suffer. You know, for some reason, I was up against a lot of people that if somebody heard I died, they go, good. And everything that I stood for and fought for, they would look at as if I had failed. And right now, I'm fighting for a lot of things that a lot of Christians are not. And I'm making a lot of enemies. In the meantime, I get death threats, not always, but often. Enough to make my wife worried. And what am I doing? I'm standing up for the things of God. I'm saying the things that nobody likes to hear because it offends, contradicts their own knowledge set. It goes against what they believe. It goes against what they've been taught. It goes against what they're teaching. And when you do that, just like when Jesus did it, the high priest ripped his shirt and everybody just started punching and spitting on him. You know, this is what happens when you declare the truth of the Lord. You know, so my prayer going into tomorrow is not that God deliver me from death because I'm afraid of death, but that he bring me through to the other side so I can continue to be that thing so my enemies don't celebrate and go, that guy was wrong. He thought he'd live to see Jesus, but there he is in the ground. All those things he talked about were wrong. And all my enemies would rejoice. And everything I stood for will seem defeated. It's strange. And David's prayer in that moment of Psalm 6 is that, you know, that's not what that is, Lord. Righteousness reigns. They will go away ashamed, is how that's going to play out. It's starting to snow a little bit. It's beautiful. It is really cold, by the way, here. Welcome to Missouri. I think it was 60 yesterday. I got a t-shirt on and 8 outside. So tomorrow's my day, and I look forward to seeing y'all on the other side, man, and get to the other side of this. And I pray that God shows me what he wants me to do, because I think the things that we do are so important. A faith without works is dead. And we have to be these people that God gives me another day. He wakes me up on Thursday morning. He's got something for me, and I want to know what it is. I want to attack that thing with aggression and fierceness. Whatever that thing is, whatever it is. So I would appreciate those of you that pray to pray for me, but pray for me that God shows me what it is he's waking me up the next day to do. What is that thing? What is that thing? Because he's got something for me. If he woke you up today, he's got something for you. What is that thing? Actually, I'm going to request you pray for your thing too. Let's wake up, all wake up on Thursday and hit the things that the God wants us to do, whatever that thing is. Could you imagine if people purposely woke up and said, as a collective whole, said, God, what do you want me to do? And then they just went and did that thing. What is that? That's what my prayer is. I already know he's delivering me through. I already know that. He might have already delivered me. They may get in there and be like, well, there's nothing there. Bad test, I guess. But he's got something for us. I mean, I actually feel like maybe that's like the heart of almost everything I've been preaching on this channel is do that thing. The Holy Spirit, if your relationship with Jesus Christ is real, look at that lake, isn't that beautiful? Meaning it's real, it's real, it's real. And you're filled with this, then you will be filled with the Spirit. And that Spirit's got something for you to do. And if you're not doing something, you're wasting that Spirit's time. The Spirit's time. Don't be about your Father's business. He's got a job for you to do. And that's really kind of why I read the Psalms. You know, I'm mad about what I talked about in the beginning because there's so much more to do. You know, how dare my body do this because of the product of my environment when there's so much more to do for the Lord. So I'm going to bust through to the other side of this thing and get back to business. That's my goal. I mean, that should be all of our goals. It really should be all of our goals. You know, whatever you're going through, bust through to the other side so you can get on with that thing. Send your enemies home ashamed of the things they did, the things they said, the threats they made. Ashamed. Meanwhile, we rejoice in the victories that God gives us. My wife's kind of mad at me for being out here in the middle of nowhere walking daily because of something happened. But I think it's good for me. It's definitely good for my time with God, that's for sure. So there you go, man. Thanks for your prayers. Thanks for all you're doing in this moment for me. You know, I always kind of said, you know, the thing I love about this channel is it's a community, you know, it's more than just a channel. And sometimes I kind of feel like it's a one-sided conversation, you know. I love hearing from y'all. But when you're praying for me, that is purposeful. Like, that is intentional. That is community. And it is powerful. And again, my prayer request is not that God heals me, because he's already got that. He has already got that. He has either already healed me or is going to heal me through the hands of that surgeon. One of the two. I already know that. What my prayer is that he get me to this other side so we can get down to more important business than this nonsense. This lie of sickness and death. It's nonsense. It's a lie. And that's why that other stuff just makes me so mad. You know? Well, there you go, man. Thanks again for your prayers. I'll definitely get something out letting you know I woke up and got to the other side and doing good. Get something out, let you know, man. Thank you so much.